Ford's groundbreaking announcement sends shockwaves. Buckle up, gearheads, because Ford just dropped a bombshell that'll have your engine revving with disbelief. Forget horsepower, this announcement is about horsepower missing. We're talking potential engine meltdowns, folks, and it's got the car world shaking its head faster than a chihuahua at a monster truck rally. Hey there, Car Computer Exchange fam. Are you ready to shift gears and get the lowdown on the latest automotive shocker? We all know that feeling you trust your car to get you from point A to point B, but what happens when point B becomes stranded on the side of the road? That's the worry gripping some Ford owners right now, and we're here to break it down for you with a healthy dose of humor, because hey, even car troubles need a little laughter. Hold on to your lug nuts, because Ford has just issued a major recall for certain models of the Focus 2016 and EcoSport 2016 to 2022. Now, recalls happen all the time, right? Maybe it's a faulty taillight or a missing floor mat, a minor inconvenience at best. But this, my friends, is a whole different ball game. This ain't your average check your tire pressure situation. This one could leave you stranded on the side of the road, wishing you'd packed a good book and maybe a mechanic on speed dial. What's the problem? Engine failure. Anyone? Here's the deal. The culprit behind this automotive meltdown is a potential oil pump failure. An oil pump is the heart of your engine's circulatory system, keeping everything lubricated and running smoothly. But, according to Ford, a faulty belt design in these specific models could lead to the pump failing. Imagine your car's engine as a high-performance athlete. Without proper lubrication, things grind to a halt fast. In the worst-case scenario, this could lead to engine lockup and even a crash. Yikes. Highlighting the questionable design choice. Now let's talk about this faulty belt. It seems Ford opted for a rubber design, which has some folks scratching their heads. As any mechanic will tell you, rubber and extreme engine heat aren't exactly the best of friends. It's like putting a chocolate bar in the freezer. Sure, it might work for a little while, but eventually things are going to get melty and messy. This design choice has some questioning whether cutting corners might have backfired for the American automaker. High-tech versus low-tech. Does complexity mean trouble? There's always a debate raging on about high-tech car parts versus their simpler counterparts. Some argue that complex systems are more prone to failure, with more moving parts and intricate designs creating more opportunities for something to go wrong. However, complexity doesn't always equal trouble. Take Toyota, for example. They've built a reputation for reliability, partly by sticking with tried-and-true technologies, though that doesn't mean they're immune to recalls entirely. Whether this Ford snafu is a case of overcomplication or simply a bad design choice remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, car owners deserve better than a ticking time bomb under the hood. All right, gearheads, let's take a quick pit stop. So far, this Ford recall sounds like a recipe for disaster. But hey, maybe we're being a little too pessimistic. On a scale of Sunday drive to Mad Max chase scene, how worried are you about this situation? Hit that thumbs up button if you think it's a minor inconvenience, and smash that thumbs down if you're already stocking up on roadside flares. We'll be back after the break to dive deeper and see if there's a fix on the horizon for these Fords. Hopefully one that doesn't involve duct tape and wishful thinking. Remember that whole high-tech versus low-tech debate we were talking about? Buckle up, because Ford's situation seems to be a case study in potentially misplaced innovation. While some car makers are diving headfirst into complex technologies, Ford opted for a surprisingly simple and some might say suspect solution for their oil pump, a rubber belt. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with rubber belts in cars. They're used in a variety of applications, but an engine oil pump? That little guy lives in a world of scorching heat and constant friction. It's basically the engine's equivalent of a high-performance athlete constantly pushing its limits. So picture this. You wouldn't put a rubber band around your bicep and expect it to hold up during a weightlifting competition, would you? Same principle applies here. This design choice has many speculating that Ford might have been trying to cut corners. Maybe a rubber belt seemed like a cheaper alternative to a more robust, heat-resistant option. but as the saying goes, you often get what you pay for. In this case, what you might get is a potential engine meltdown. Not exactly the kind of fuel efficiency Ford was likely aiming for. Getting your money's worth, reliable cars. Don't have to break the bank. All right, so Ford's situation might have you a little nervous about your next car purchase. But fear not, gearheads. Reliability doesn't have to come with a hefty price tag. Take the Toyota Camry, for example. Those things are legendary for lasting well into the high hundreds of thousands of miles. Sure, you might not win any drag races, but you'll definitely appreciate the peace of mind and the gas savings. The key here is to do your research. If you're considering a used car, especially a hybrid, get it inspected by a trusted mechanic. Hybrids have complex systems that require specialized knowledge, so don't skimp on this step. A few $100 spent up front could save you thousands down the line. Rapid-fire Q and a QI accidentally put the wrong oil in my car. Am I doomed? Oh, whoa there, slow down. Take a deep breath. It depends. The difference between some oil types might be negligible, but always check your owner's manual for the recommended oil weight. If you're really worried, consult a mechanic. Q, my car keeps throwing a weird code. What should I do? Don't panic. Modern cars are basically rolling computers, and sometimes they glitch out. If it's not a critical warning light, try resetting the code by disconnecting your battery for a few minutes. Consult your manual for specifics, though. But if the light keeps coming back, get it checked by a professional. Q. Should I change my transmission fluid? A. It depends on your car and your driving habits. Generally, consult your owner's manual for the recommended service intervals. But remember, a well-maintained transmission is a happy transmission and a happy wallet. Hertz bails on electric vehicles. Here's why. In a surprising turn of events, rental car giant Hertz recently decided to hit the brakes on their electric vehicle fleet, specifically Teslas. Now, you might be wondering, isn't that the future of transportation? Well, the reality is electric vehicles still have some hurdles to jump before they're perfectly suited for the rental car world. From a mechanic's perspective, here's the deal. Electric vehicles can be notoriously expensive to repair, especially after an accident. Plus, complex repairs can take a lot longer than fixing a traditional gas-powered car. And let's be honest, nobody wants a vacation sidetracked by a long wait for their rental to get fixed. There's also the issue of charging infrastructure. While it's getting better, it's not yet ubiquitous. Imagine renting a Tesla and realizing there's nowhere nearby to juice it up. Not exactly a recipe for a stress-free road trip. So while electric vehicles are definitely the future, for now, they might not be the most practical choice for the rental car industry. But hey, technology is constantly evolving, so who knows what the future holds. All right, gearheads, that's all the oil we have time to burn for today. Remember, a car should be your trusted companion on the road, not a ticking time bomb under the hood. So, do your research, avoid rubber band engineering, looking at you, Ford, and for more car wisdom, and maybe a few laughs along the way, smash that subscribe button and join the Car Computer Exchange fam. We'll keep you informed, entertained, and hopefully avoiding any roadside meltdowns. Until next time, happy wrenching.